Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Friday, October 16th, 2020, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a 2020 electoral map if Donald Trump wins 100% of the remaining undecided voters and also third-party voters. I didn't include it in the title because I only have 100 characters and it was going to overflow, and it just wouldn't flow as well, but the main takeaway from this video is going to be that, given that Donald Trump is able to win third-party voters on top of all of the undecided voters, both statewide and taking a look at the national average. This will be my first example, so we will know the numbers about those, about the national average in around 20 seconds. But all in all, I just wanted to do this video just to give you a general idea of where the election would stand, assuming Donald Trump would be able to win 100% of the remaining undecided voters and third-party voters. Essentially, everything would have to work in favor of Donald Trump, and obviously that isn't exactly the most realistic scenario, so we're going to see what happens. So right now, Joe Biden maintains a 10.5% lead over Donald Trump nationwide. This is a very strong lead, the largest of any challenger since the 1930s. Almost an entire century has passed, 90 years, and Joe Biden takes the largest lead of any challenger. But let's assume Donald Trump wins the remaining third-party vote and undecided voters. It actually narrows up Joe Biden's lead to 4.6%. This would be giving Donald Trump a remaining significant portion of the vote that narrows up the margin by over 5%. So this is actually very substantial, but still 4.6% for reference is actually higher than where Hillary Clinton was 4 years ago. For reference, she was up 3%. So on the national average, which has never been too favorable to Donald Trump, assuming that he wins all of the undecided voters, we're talking 100% of undecided voters and 100% of third-party voters, Joe Biden still maintains a 4.6% lead, but it doesn't hold in a number of swing states. Because the national average does favor Joe Biden a little bit better than some other states, Arizona is a prime example. Joe Biden is at 49%. He hasn't hit that magic threshold of 50%, which means that Donald Trump would win this state because he would be winning the remaining 6% of undecided voters and third-party voters, which would put him narrowly over the top for for Donald Trump. But in case of Joe Biden winning in a state such as Colorado, assuming that Donald Trump wins the remaining gap on top of third-party voters, it isn't enough to overcome Joe Biden because he already has the majority. So that's how this is going to go. So ignore the Adobe update. I always press remind me later and I never do it. So it'll probably pop up maybe by the end of the video. Let's hope not. So let's go ahead and get started with all of the safe states. And to be completely honest with you, we don't really see too many states changing. Now, states definitely do get a little bit more Republican. That is something that you can't ignore. But there is still a pretty significant portion of likely Republican states that realistically should be considered safe, at least if Donald Trump was able to win over 100% of undecided voters. This video is going to attest to how good of a position Joe Biden is today. Now, he isn't going to be winning in a number of states that we normally characterize him as winning, because Donald Trump in this scenario would be winning, I repeat, 100% of undecided and third-party voters. But still, the map isn't exactly as lopsided as you might think. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said 2 times already, the safe Republican states. We're going in alphabetical order. We start with the state of Alabama, then Arkansas, then the state of Idaho, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Dakota, I almost thought it said Maryland for a second, almost had a heart attack, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming. This is shocking. I mean, even in a scenario where Donald Trump wins every single undecided voter and every single third-party voter, look where he's at. 79 electoral votes. As for Joe Biden, he fares much better. He wins the entire West Coast. Then we're going to start alphabetically, go to Connecticut, then Delaware. We have Hawaii, the District of Columbia, Illinois, Maryland. That's not Maryland, that is Virginia. Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York. Already covered Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, and I have already covered Washington. So look at that map. Biden is at 187. I will repeat, as I will repeat 20 more times throughout this video, 100% of undecided voters. Look at this map. These are safe states. We will hit likely states, and Donald Trump will win in a number of states that I characterize for Joe Biden on routine. But you do need to take a look at these margins, because it's an indicator that Donald Trump may not actually expand, may even narrow up from where he stands today. So In the likely Republican states, going in alphabetical order yet again, we have Alaska, Kansas, Missouri. I didn't characterize them as likely just yet. Alaska, Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska at large. Nebraska's 1st district hasn't been characterized. Doesn't have a poll. Nebraska's 3rd district, my bad, does not have a poll, but Nebraska's 1st district would also be considered likely. So we're just going to characterize Nebraska's 3rd as safe. We have Ohio, which is the only swing state. Actually, not the only swing state. South Carolina, and then the other swing state is Texas. So with the likely and safe states combined for Donald Trump, he still doesn't hit Joe Biden's safe states. For Joe Biden, his likely Democratic states will be the usual. The states Hillary Clinton won in 2016 for the main part: Colorado, Maine, Maine's 1st district, New Hampshire, and Virginia. All likely states for the Democratic Party. So that puts Biden at 216, puts Donald Trump at 170. There are, 10 remaining states? 1, 2, 3, 4. I forgot about the state of Indiana. The state of Indiana is considered safe, so add that up. Actually, still, even if it was to add that to the safe likely states, it still wouldn't overcome Joe Biden's safe Democratic electoral count. But all in all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 states remaining. I'm going to make sure that adds up. I believe it does. I have not characterized Maine's 2nd district yet. There's a reason for that. Nebraska's 2nd district I have yet to characterize as well. But all in all, the Democratic Party should be very happy with where they stand today. There is a reason why Joe Biden is doing better than Hillary Clinton. The main reason is popularity. Hillary Clinton was hated. Joe Biden is not hated. Following the DNC, following the first debate, following any time really Joe Biden gets to directly speak to the nation, his approval rating ticks up. And it's clear that it's because of his charisma. It's because of the way that he talks personally to voters. Hillary Clinton, sure, was a very skilled politician to say the least, but sometimes that actually did work against her. A lot of the times where she was speaking to the American people, it came off as disingenuous. I honestly don't see that happening with Joe Biden. Yes, you may disagree with him on a policy standpoint, but even former Republican, not even former, current Republican senators like Lindsey Graham have praised him time and time again. That can't just change because it's a presidential election year, and I know it did change for Secretary Clinton, but at the same time, you do have to realize that, Joe Biden is not Secretary Clinton. There's so many other factors that Joe Biden is doing much better than her with a number of reasons, but the main one I'd say is popularity. And I did forget to characterize Maine's 2nd district as likely for Donald Trump, but other than that, we're down to lean states. And I honestly think that this is just very bad for Donald Trump because we are giving him a scenario where not only does he retain his base, but he wins all of the non-Joe Biden voters, whether they're voting for even the Green Party candidates or a, social Democrat, whoever it is, we're assuming that Donald Trump wins 100% of them. And he still is at 182 in likely and safe states. Let's get into the lean states. Well, we start off with some states that I normally characterize for Joe Biden. We have the state of Arizona. Now, this makes sense. Arizona has Biden at 49%. In the beginning of the video, I pointed this out. It was enough to overcome in favor of Donald Trump. Arizona goes red. The next state is Florida. I currently have Florida in the Joe Biden column, but realistically, if Trump was carrying 100% of the undecideds, he would carry Florida. I'm just shocked at how close it actually is. Again, a testament to Joe Biden and also a testament against Donald Trump as a candidate. The next state is Georgia. Yet again, another lean Republican state. For reference, this was a likely state in 2016. Even in an exceptional scenario for Donald Trump, he ends up shorter than where he was just 4 years ago. Then we have the state of Iowa. This is a state that is normally characterized as a battleground. Donald Trump doesn't do as well as he did 4 years ago. Lean for the GOP. And then we have North Carolina. This is another state where the Democratic Party has been heavily targeting this election cycle specifically, and it's been very difficult for them to capture in the past. One time in 2008, not decades before, and if we're looking at the 2020 electoral map, North Carolina is absolutely in reach. And even in a scenario where Donald Trump is doing amazing, or at least if we had said this 6 months ago, we would have said absolutely Donald Trump would win the election. Well, today, that doesn't end up true. For the lean Democratic states, we have the Rust Belt and Nebraska's 2nd district. Officially, Joe Biden would win the presidency, even in a scenario where Donald Trump won, every undecided voter that stands undecided today and every third-party voter, regardless of who that third-party vote was going for. So if you're a Green Party voter and you plan on voting for Howie Hawkins, I'm assuming in this scenario that somehow you are voting for Donald Trump. And guess what? He still does not win the election. Now, Nevada, I left up as a toss-up for a reason. This is a tilt Republican state, according to this map. But again, this state flipping from 2016 does not put Donald Trump over the top. The election is 273 to 265. If you skip to the end, this map is assuming Donald Trump wins every single undecided voter that is undecided today, and also every single third-party voter. And look where it puts him, 265. Not only does he not hit his 306 number from 2016, he loses the election. Joe Biden has practically solidified his base. He's above 50% in all of the states in blue, every single one of them, including 3 of which Hillary Clinton lost 4 years ago. In 2016, I think you could count how many states swing states Hillary Clinton was up by over 50% in one hand. This time around, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states, 8 states, and 1 district. 9 states, actually. So this map is very good news for Biden's campaign, because they now know that regardless of the amount of support Donald Trump gains through the election, winning over those, I don't know who I'm voting for yet, guess what? Joe Biden still wins. Now, I don't expect 100% of undecided voters to go for Donald Trump. If that was the scenario, I mean, that would be insane. That has never happened in U.S. history, which makes it an even more grim possibility that Donald Trump wins the election. Because even in a scenario where everything would be working in his favor in the final weeks, let's say there's an October surprise and these voters who were already committed, don't change, but all the undecided voters end up voting for Trump, and third-party voters end up saying, maybe Trump is less of a threat than Biden, even though I may be voting for the Green Party candidate originally. Now I'm voting for Trump. Whatever the reason was, it doesn't matter. Because in this scenario, Trump still loses. And I think that this is just fascinating to know that an incumbent president who defied all odds 4 years ago is defying all odds again. Because anytime we'd ever see a presidential candidate winning 100% of the undecided vote would be never. It's unheard of. And usually that would just be a death sentence to the opposition party. And for the sake of the Democrats here, looking at the numbers, anything but. Because they win the election. 4 years is 4 years. Doesn't matter if it was a 365 win to a 270 win. 4 years is 4 years. And the Democrats actually flip 3 states from 2016, even with this unprecedented and very weird type of reality, which obviously wouldn't happen this election, but the Democrats actually might be happy if it does. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down suggestions below. Subscribe on the left if you haven't already, and check out the Instagram and Twitter. At the bottom left of the screen, there's also a Discord link for you to go ahead and join. On the screen, there's a video you can watch, and then a playlist for my 2020 election videos. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider joining as a member on my channel, and I will see you all tomorrow.